Hello, Joel Fiesel here, your financial agent for life insurance and retirement. Today, I want to talk about something that has taken a while for me to really understand until really recently. It started really clicking in. And sometimes, we can watch a training and we can see something many, many times, but it's not until a certain point where it actually starts making sense. And, sometimes we have to see it tons and tons of times because we have to be in a different place. Then all of a sudden your understanding is different. And now you're like, oh, I get it. And so that's, some people call that the aha moment, right? So I'm going to be talking about something today that has to do with goals, visualizing, and vision boards. And so, because it's really the first quarter of this year, it's made so much of a difference. And so, I constantly am always trying to improve myself. And so, this was something that one of my things that my weak area has been, goal setting. And so, I would set goals, but then usually wouldn't look at the goals because, I wasn't hitting those goals and I would get disappointed. Now, of course, I got a long ways. And so I started, watching some people talking about goal setting and things that they would do to help them to hit their goals. And a big key to that was number one, reading their goals. Okay, constantly looking at reading their goals daily, so they could mentally see those daily and know what they are very clear. Okay, the other thing was about building a vision board, putting pictures of the things that you want to do. So like for example, person who was given a reference of they wanted to have their body look a certain way. So they took a picture of somebody's body that they wanted to, they cut the head off and put their own head on. And so that way it kind of tricked their mind going, oh, look, that's how I look, right? And so anyways, there's some things you need to do with that vision board. If you want to have a house, a certain type of house, put it on there. You want a certain type of car, you want your yard to be done a certain way, put those pictures. You want to travel certain where, put those pictures on that vision board and look at it daily. One of the big keys is consistently looking at your goals daily, looking at that vision board so you know where you're going. Because remember, when the vision is clear, the results will appear. So you can't get the results if your vision is not clear. And so you may say, well, I'm not really sure what I want. Well, that's another thing too. If you don't know what you want, that can be an issue. So, basically, there's another thing that you can do to help out with that is writing down your goals every day for 30 days. And what will happen is when you start writing them down every day, number one, it sticks in your brain. Number two, those goals start getting clearer and clearer, and then you have more of a desire of what you want. So by the time you get to that 30 days, you're going to know these are my goals. This is what I want. So then, you look at those goals daily, right? Look at them every single day, look at your vision board. And then the last thing is to spend some time, meditating, focusing on those where you have some quiet time. And what I like to do personally is I like to start visualizing, what it would be like if there's a new car that I want. Okay, go test drive the car. You've probably heard that before, right? And then visualize, yourself driving that car and how it would feel and how it would look. And, if that car to you, if it says success, if you want your car to represent success, or if you want your car to represent, I don't know, sporty or whatever you may want, visualize that. If you're doing any projects like a home project or you're building a new house, visualize what you want that house to look like, how it is to walk through that home. Like right now we have a huge backyard project. I've been visualizing what that would look like, and basically what I would have in different places, and when it's all complete, how that would feel. And so, though visualization is such a huge deal for your brain, you have to see it, you have to have examples of it, and you have to constantly be thinking about it. And it kind of reminds me of constant effort over time, but you constantly have to be focusing on seeing what your goals are, so that way you know where you're going. Because remember, if the vision is clear, the results will appear. Now, I've stole that from someone else, Terry Seville Foy, which I'm a big fan of hers, but it definitely has helped me because I've had one of my best quarters ever this year. It's because of what I'm talking about: visualizing, seeing those goals, reading those goals daily. And I know this can help you. So if you definitely want things to change, sometimes you got to do something different, right? And sometimes it takes doing it over and over until you get it. So with that being said, don't give up, because I know that you can do it. I know that you can have success in this industry. You just got to keep going forward, keep learning, and guess what? Things will happen. And the last thing I want to say is make sure when you're focusing on these goals that you're putting good thoughts out there. Like if you're trying to hit certain financial goals with your work, visualize people picking up the phone and calling you that are interested in what you have to do. Or if you're calling them, visualize that you're getting somebody on the phone that's ready for what you're offering and they're the perfect person and they're like, "Yeah, I'm so glad you called me because I need help." Visualize that because you know what? Let me tell you, in the past when I've made phone calls, if when I'm calling leads, if I don't sit there and start putting some thoughts out there, like I'm trying to find the person that wants what I have to offer, then guess what? I'm not motivated to call those people. And guess what? My results usually aren't that good because I'm also not trying as much either. And so I'll try different things when I'm calling someone and they might say, "Well, no, I'm not interested." "Well, do you know about this?" "Oh, I didn't know about that." "Well, let's talk." All of a sudden opportunity, things happen when maybe you could say getting creative, but it's also putting those good thoughts out there and that'll help motivate you as well. With that being said, over and out till next time. Bye bye for now.